This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, hello there. It's Jeff Cutter. I'm welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, March the 4th, 2021, we will take a look at an event that happened 80 years ago today, on March 4th, 1941. Yes, that's right. The goalie seen in this photo is one Sam Lopresti of the Chicago Blackhawks. And he represented a big minority in the NHL. No, not because of his last name, but because he was an American in the NHL. And and the NHL was not fully Americanized. American players came and went so quickly throughout the 30s and past the 40s that things looked bad. So anyway, Sam Lopresti was born in Minnesota in 1917. He was 24 years old when he played in a famous game as a member of the Chicago Blackhawks against the Boston Bruins. He faced 83 shots against the Boston Bruins, who would then go on to win the 1941 Stanley Cup. But basically, the Bruins were huge and all that. Boston had won a Stanley Cup in 1939 before this, for the 41 one. But Sam Lopresti was basically in the Chicago role. Chicago was not really that great back in the 1940s. They made a few finals appearances, but they couldn't get over the hump of their 1938 Stanley Cup championship, where another American, Mike Caracas, helped the Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup. So anyway, Sam Lopresti played for the team. He had to be brought up to Chicago in mid-season because the Blackhawks didn't really have regular goalies. And then basically, he was the regular goalie for the Blackhawks in 1942. But it was amazing about Sam Lopresti. Because, he was a decent player and all that. His stats said that he played 74 NHL games. He was only 30, 38, and 6. That shows you how bad the Blackhawks were. Like, he was decent, but, he wasn't going to be a superstar. The 1941 Chicago Blackhawks weren't that bad. They were below 500 by about 9 games and all that. They had Doug Bentley, who was only 23 years old. They had Earl Siebert, who was 28. Marsh, Max Bentley, who was only 20 years old at that time. They had Johnny Gotzeling. Lopresti was brought up after an injury to Paul Goodman. So basically, Lopresti had been in. But the Boston team in 1941 was very harsh. All that. Chicago was 5th and ended up playing the Montreal Canadiens in a playoff round to get through. But anyway, Boston, they were the best team in the NHL that year. They had Bill Cowley, Bobby Bauer, Roy Conacher, Mel Schmidt, Woody Dumart, Dick Clapper, Flash Hollett, Terry Reardon, Jack Crawford, Mal Hill, and their star goalie, another Minnesota native, Frank Brunzek. So basically, Lopresti stopped 83 shots faced 83 shots and saved 80, which is pretty good, but this team still lost 3-2. Another major save performance happened 50 years later in 1991 when the Nordiques would face the Boston Bruins at the Boston Garden, and Ray Bourque unofficially set a record for most shots on goal in a game with 19. As Ron Tugnut for the Sad Sack Quebec Nordiques was in net and faced 73 shots, saved 70. But unlike Lopresti, Tugnut didn't lose the game. He tied. Yes, when games were still tieable. And we didn't need this stupid shootout rule. Ron Tugnut was a hero, especially thwarting Bourque whenever possible. That was the last time Guy Lafleur would play a game at the Boston Garden. Of course, Lafleur was part of the Quebec Nordiques, if I must sum this up. So anyway, you rarely see goalies with like 70 or 80 save performances unless they go deep into overtime. So, Sam Lopresti was a hero. Sadly, though, he's not remembered for much else. His son Pete played in the NHL, but he wasn't that good either. Hell hail San Lopresti today. I'm Jeff Diamond Adieu.